Joining me now is Remi Piet. He's a senior partner at Embelie Advisory. Always good to see you, Remi.
It's a pleasure to see you.
Hi there. So, Argentina looking more and more likely to joining BRICS. How significant is this? Let's start there.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is the next steps in the process that started earlier this year with the visit of Alberto Fernandez to China and then to Russia before the war conflict in Ukraine. I mean, this it's an interesting move and inclusion because, you know, Argentina is a member of the G20. It's actually a country that actually boasts a series of interesting element to its economy. It obviously has gone through turmoil, especially on the monetary level and decrease of purchasing power on a series of industries, but it is still, as I said, a country which provides a stronger foothold in Latin America. The welcoming inside the BRICS is actually something that is supported by Brazil, which is quite rare in Latin American politics. You see a united front between Brazil and Argentina. India also, and China has backed this move, and it would also actually offer, as I said, another key partner in terms of global economy, in terms of political potential influence on global affairs, but also one that actually produces a series of products that could be interesting to India and China specifically in terms of energy, raw material, agricultural products that are very interesting in the current state of global affairs.
Right. Remi, you know, a big majority of countries in the region are now also part of the Belt and Road Initiative. As we heard, Argentina just this year joined. What are some of the implications of this growing membership in China's flagship program?
No, absolutely. Argentina joined recently the Belt and Road Initiative, looking at additional investment in infrastructure. Here, the key issue is to go, you know, beyond the first wave of investment that we've seen in different countries from Chinese infrastructure companies, and actually be able to integrate it with working with local communities and different, you know, local government to be able to have a more successful, you know, return on investment and PPP and a series of agreement and license to operate for a series of projects. But still, in Argentina specifically, we've seen a growing presence of Chinese investment in the mining sector specifically. And the energy sector is also very interesting to look at. The strong export towards China. Latin America as a whole, apart from Mexico, if you take out Mexico from the continent, actually has China as the #1 trade partner ahead of the United States, which shows a clear shift of the continent towards China. And so that is very important for China to continue developing their relationship either through the Belt and Road Initiative or through the BRICS, a more multilateral approach to global politics, although it's still quite unclear what the BRICS is trying to achieve globally.
I'm glad you brought up this issue of how, you know, China has become such a large trading partner, the biggest for the region outside that Mexico wall. So the question is, how has China managed to essentially move many of these countries out of the orbit of US influence?
Well, there is here, in terms of the pure Ricardo sense of liberal economics, a clear complementarity between Latin America and China, specifically in terms of exporting raw material and minerals, specifically for Chinese industries, or agricultural production, same thing for the Chinese population. And so the markets actually quite fit in terms of being able to build, you know, collaboration and ties. The other side of it being the investment through the Belt and Road Initiative, to, you know, big, you know, obviously levels, investment and trade, to be able to create more influence and more presence of China in Latin America. So it's been quite natural and organic in its approach. Now the question is, you know, how do you actually, from the Latin American perspective, are you able to maybe leverage the relation with China with the one with the United States, and be able therefore to move up the value of scales of value creation, not only raw material but actually industrialization, and towards more service collaboration on service level, which is more present towards the United States still than China. And from the Chinese perception, obviously it is to be able to have a stronger influence in Latin America and the securitization of key supplies for the Chinese economy. Right now, we're looking at a key shift in energy transition, in mineral production, where Latin America, in terms of producing lithium, producing gold, copper, and series of key battery metals, for example, and other similar production actually are very important to secure relationship between China and those countries for global trade and security of inputs for the industry.
Right. Well, Remi Piet is a senior partner at Embelie Advisory. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, as always.